Welcome back to The Watch. And today we're back with a video about The Mandalorian, Season 3.
As well as, other depressing news.
Yeah. So how should we preface this video? I have watched up to where currently we're at. I think a new episode's coming out tonight.
Yes.
Tonight for us when we're recording. A new episode's coming out tonight. And I have very, very complicated thoughts so far. Mm-hmm. How about you?
I don't. My thoughts and feelings are very ingrained in frustration, anger, and disappointment.
Okay. So I think we can all agree Season 3 has been different.
That's one way of putting it. You're not very much of a man who usually likes to step around things.
Well,
but this one, you're like, things are very different.
The reason why
I have complicated feelings for Mando.
I don't really want to talk about how everything I'm feeling at the moment is because I want to wait until the end of the season.
But even then,
no, because
it has been 5 episodes.
I can talk about the things that have already happened.
Yes,
no matter what the end they won't change. Which is season episode 3. Mm-hmm. Is it 3? That whatever the that was. Okay, that. I don't know what that was. And what was the other one? Episode
5.
5?
Yeah. The most recent one. That was...
I don't know what's going on. And especially with the newest, the news that came out with the boss of whatever coming out and saying that the Mandalorian can mean any Mandalorian now, not just Din. I'm not happy.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are tapping out. And the fact that now the Grogu... Like, the amount of people I've seen saying that he's no longer the centerpiece, he's now just there for merchandise. Like, all he does is go... And like that is it. That's the extent.
It's not really something you can refute. I mean, the first 2 seasons set up his leave. He left.
Yeah,
and then they brought him back in a sideshow.
Yeah, and now he's just there.
And now
he's lost all development.
Yeah. So, but there have been good things about the season that I like so far. I've seen a lot of stuff that I'm happy to get in live action. I'm just very annoyed that we've got it in this show, in this season.
See, for me, I have 2 thoughts on this. One, I think they've wasted way too much of my time and my patience as a Star Wars fan. Like, I have wanted something. Okay. I think that my peak was episode 3 for Star Wars fandom. That, for me, was like my peak.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that was amazing. I'm waiting to get close to that peak.
Right. I thought you were talking about, when you said episode 3, I thought you were talking about like episode 3 of The Mandalorian. I'm like, whoa, hold
Star
on.
Wars. Yeah. I'm talking about like episode 3 was the peak. Okay. We're still underneath the iceberg.
Yeah.
In terms of quality and the feelings I have for these TV shows and movies. Mando season 3 for me has been an utter waste of time. It has been just all dangling keys and be like, hey, Nathan, we're going to see some Mandalorian stuff. You want some Clone Wars stuff? You know when Disney got power of Star Wars, how they just kicked all of Clone Wars off? They're like, no, this prequel stuff. We're going to do original trilogy and our new sequel trilogy. And now all of a sudden they're like, you know what? The prequels weren't so bad.
Yeah, we know you. There's literally millions of you guys who really want that stuff.
Clone Wars, we'll give you some droids. We'll give you some clones or whatever.
Get Count Dooku name drop.
Yeah, just name drop them, just to get you excited. Get you
in a full episode of just nothing you want. Yeah, we'll say one name out loud, and that's enough.
The point is that we are at the stage where that name drop feeds you enough to go, okay, I'll wait till the season's over just to see.
No.
They named Count Dooku.
No.
Where for me,
no.
At the very... Okay. Season 2, I lost my patience.
Really?
Yes. Because you have this whole season, the job is for the Mando to get Grogu to a Jedi.
Yeah.
Every single episode is like a milk and bread run to the store. I gotta go help this lady with her eggs. I gotta help this person do this thing. I gotta hunt down this and that. Also, there's this whole thing with Boba Fett. Get excited for Boba Fett. Boba Fett comes out, not that good. And then at the very end, it's like, here's Luke Skywalker, I'm taking Grogu. And then the start of season 3, it's like, whoa, everything's been resolved. All of a sudden, everything's reset back to the season 2 again. And I've been waiting every single episode of why are we watching this story unfold? What is the point of it all? I'm assuming it's to rebuild Mandalore, but I have no assumption of that. They keep hinting at it, but no one says, hey, we should rebuild Mandalore. Instead, we have an episode about an Empire guy who obviously is going to be bad again because we have a full hour-long Andor-like episode, which isn't a compliment. As well as these other episodes where it's like, okay, the Mandalorians, they're chilling on this desert planet. Some of the little ones get kidnapped by a giant dragon bird, and they go save them.
Yeah.
The end.
Yeah.
Good job, Jon Favreau. You did a great job with that. The volume probably did a great job doing all the work for you anyways. Now we're at episode 5.
Yeah.
Episode 5. They're like, there's the Mandalorians we need to go talk to. Oh, what's that? We're being taken to the other side of the planet to talk to these Jack Black and Lizzo? And then bloody guy from Back to the Future's there? It feels like a holiday special! With all these guest starring appearances and weird characters doing all that. And the whole concept of the story... Spoiler alert, sorry everyone, but not really spoilers because it's no point to it anyways. Droids are going bad. Why are they going bad? Well, because the guy that said the droids are going bad put them there to be bad.
Because he was a separatist.
Yeah.
Right, okay, so...
And that could build up something cool, but I don't expect them to, because guess what? Season 2, we build it up to the end of like, oh, Luke Skywalker. Oh, we're building Jedi Academy. And then with Boba Fett, like, oh, they're rebuilding it. And haven't seen anything of Luke since then. Grogu left, and suddenly Luke's forgotten.
Okay. I respect your
Like, what I'm saying is...
I understand.
Also, 5 episodes of a, 8-episode season.
Yeah.
We have not gone anywhere.
Well, thanks for watching, guys. That sums up all of
I'm not done yet.
I mean...
No, because there's also... Okay, they do this to us, and then they say, get excited for Acolytes. Get excited for Ahsoka.
Oh, that is hot.
Get excited for a sequel movie.
That's a whole other can of worms there.
A sequel movie with Rey Skywalker, who you all love.
I forgot about that.
Like, can you get me any more frustrated? You're literally doing every single thing the fan is saying not to, and they could say, oh, you guys are being toxic, you guys are being bad. We're not! We're just saying, hey, that thing you gave us, I didn't like it. It wasn't good.
Here at Disney, we learn nothing.
Legit, though. Legit. Like, it's taken them so long to... I remember with the last season of Clone Wars came out, and everyone was like, finally, they actually listened to us. And that was not a good season. Like, the ending bit was okay, but, like, you had 5 episodes of just Ahsoka in, like, lower levels of Coruscant. Like, it was like, what are you doing, Filoni? What are you doing?
Oh, he loves Ahsoka and he
I know,
but like, and that's just what he wants. What was the point? Star Wars
if you have one season left of a TV show you've been working on for how many years, and you do 3 filler episodes of just Ahsoka in the underground layers of Coruscant, just fixing bikes, what a waste! What a waste, man!
Especially when you're leading up to the Purge, and especially
what a waste!
And then we have Ahsoka in Rebels, and then we have her in The Mandalorian. Then we have her
in Ahsoka,
Boba Fett.
And she's going to be Rebels live action anyways, because all the Rebel characters are there. And so it's like, you kick out Clone Wars stuff, and then you bring it back, but then you kick it out again to bring back the Rebel stuff that you bought that no one liked anyway. It's like, it's okay, but man, it's nothing like what we used to have. And I'm not going to sound like some old, well, there's a reason. There's a reason why people still like to have, Order 66 flashbacks.
I know.
There's a reason, but guess what? If you watch the original Order 66 scene to everything Disney's made, you can tell that they are just a dead carcass reanimated for what it used to be. Yeah,
it's not even that good, the
like,
flashbacks that they do.
It's not.
And then we've got things like Kenobi. Yeah, I can.
Kenobi was the... No, I'm not settling for this one. Kenobi was the easiest show to make in Star Wars. It should have been what you started off with, but you didn't. You couldn't even do that right. If you cannot do Kenobi right, you can't do nothing. Nothing is done right. And you'll say, oh, Nathan, you're being a toxic fanboy. No, because guess what? There's stuff that George made that I loved.
Yeah.
And there's stuff that other people have made that I've loved. You made all of the extended universe no longer canon. Except for some of the few things you want to pick, like Thrawn and whatever.
Yeah.
And then there's been plenty of stuff others have made about Star Wars that we love. But Disney can't do it. They can't. Because all it is, when I watch it, I just feel like I'm consuming for the sake of consuming. I get no emotional value from this. I don't learn anything from this. There's no value to this story about Mando just going around different planets, talking to people and being like, this is the way. Like, it just feels like a TikTok scrolling through of just these different scenes.
I will agree that the overarch story has been ruined because Grogu is now back. It was. The first 2 seasons led up to that. They finished it out beautifully, and then they ruined it.
Yeah.
They did for nothing more than merchandising, because Grogu doesn't serve any purpose, and every scene with Grogu, when he's doing like flips, Oh my God. Like, I laugh. It's hilarious. It's actually funny.
Yeah.
And then we come to, there's a lot of episodes I like in season 3. Like, the first and second episode, I liked. I thought they were good starts to the season. Other than obvious, like, glaring issues of Grogu being back and whatever.
Yes.
The third episode, I despised.
Yes.
There's just so that, like, I could do a full video just on deep diving into that episode of the ridiculousness of that. Then we get on to episode 4. What happened in episode 4? I can't remember. What happened in episode 4? Is that the one how they save the Grief Karga's place?
I think so, maybe. Yeah.
So, action, you know, I'm happy we're getting something, especially after episode 3.
Yeah.
But then episode 5 really was the one where they lay out the blueprint of where they're going. They want Bo-Katan, who is, you know, responsible for Mandalore being destroyed.
She's a terrorist.
She's a terrorist from
She's a
Death
villain
Watch.
character, yeah.
The whole point of why Mandalore fell was because she deposed her sister and then let this Maul in. And then Sidious was like, oh, I'm going to take this. And then, you know, she can be your hero if you want. That's fine. This is a fine thing. But nobody seems to acknowledge that she was a part of Death Watch and a terrorist. Like, no, everybody just seems to go, well, that's out of my brain. Every time she talks about Mandalore, it's so beautiful. The Empire did this. It's like, well, you did it. You are one of you and Vizsla are like directly responsible for what happened here. But whatever. She's got the Darksaber now. She's going to rebuild Mandalore. Okay, that's not a terrible story. But it doesn't belong in this show. Yet. Like, it should be the side piece to the main meal. And the main meal should be Din doing whatever he's doing. Whether that's great. I don't want it to be.
Now he has no motive, though. I feel like he just does nothing. And he, at the end of episode 5, spoiler alert, he just gives the saber.
Well, he does. But I remember watching the scene where he's talking about it, and I'm like, well, yeah, technically it's hers now.
Yeah.
I actually...
Like, how underwhelming was that?
I know.
Of like,
I know.
Actually... It's hers.
Yeah, I know.
And you spent how many episodes just holding onto it without being like, hey,
that's why
this
I was
is
like,
yours.
yeah,
Like,
exactly.
Yeah, this giant fight scene. It's so like, again, you're building up to something and then you just go, hey, deflate like a balloon.
And now with the recent comments saying that the Mandalorian could be anyone, and Bo getting the Darksaber, and now it's...
See, I understand what they're trying to do here. Because Pablo Pascal has gotten very popular since doing Mando. He's gotten really big, and he's probably stepping away from this more. However, in these senses, I feel like they are now degrading his character because he can't be it as much. If he needs to leave Mandalore, like, finish the season off.
The problem I have with that is I despise shows that shift their core fundamentals after 3 seasons. They just completely flip and become
Something different.
I despise that sort of show or movie or whatever. So going from like it being Din's story for the first like 2 seasons and then even getting the third season and then like the 4 seasons just all Bo, I'd be like, this isn't what I signed up for.
Yeah.
That's just not what I signed up for. Period.
Yeah. Or like what I would do.
Not that I don't think the story should be told. Hey, tell it, but do it in its own show. That's it. That's all I care about.
It's the same with Boba Fett. Why was he there? Why were there 3 episodes of just Mando?
Like, I love that we saw... They were the best... They
were just saying something.
They were the best episodes of Boba Fett with the Mandalorian ones.
And also, Boba Fett is not a hard TV show to make. You just have a bounty hunter. Like, that is when I'd be okay with him going on quests and just doing cool things.
Yes. Yeah.
Instead, he got chased by little moped bikes going, this isn't a life for us. Like, you see what I'm trying to say here? Like, no matter what they try to do, they seem to always just forget their purpose in these TV shows.
Yeah, they really do. And I think we've reached a point where a lot of people are checking out of The Mandalorian. I've seen more negative of this season than any other. Like, you say you don't like season 2. We have other people we know that didn't like season 2, which is fine. But I've never heard it like in the general populace.
And I'm fine with season 2 because the ending feels like it brings it all together. At least we actually got something substantial. At the end, you had bloody Luke Skywalker collecting Grogu.
Yeah.
That was a powerful moment. And like him saying goodbye, at least we led somewhere. There was a journey. Where I feel like in season 3, the journey now is no longer... Because season 2 was frustrating to me because it's always like, we've got to find a Jedi Master for Grogu. And they do all this time not doing that. That's fine though, because in the end they do it. And this one, it feels like they're going to rebuild Mandalore. I feel like episode finale is just going to be them putting some technology in the ground and Mandalore just going, and then being like, it is rebuilt.
No, that's not going to happen.
And then all of a sudden you see Starkiller Base from the sequels coming in, going in to destroy Mandalore. Like, it's just something dumb like that's going to happen.
To circle back around, in season 3 so far, I have seen huge amounts of negativity and backlash from this season. And I'm talking like basic people with like very core complaints. Like, why is Din the side character? You know, why are they focusing on all these things that aren't the main story? Why is there filler episodes?
Yeah.
Well, people have not been liking it, which is fair. I see where they're coming from, and I agree with them on most points. But I will say that I'm happy that I've got to see a couple of things, like seeing Mandalore live action. We actually got to go in there. I like that was really cool. I like we've got to see some other stuff. But I'm very unhappy with everything overall.
Well, the execution, I think, has been poorly done. Like, it would be great to be on Mandalore, but to have a cool story experience of, like, you know, someone going, one of the Mandalorians going here and talking about their history and how it felt, maybe talking about the terrorists that overthrew, you know, maybe doing stuff, maybe having more regret and, you know, character progression and arc instead of it being like, what's that? What's that, little Grogu? Mando's stuck in the well. All right, I'll go save him. Let's go up in the spaceship and go. What's that, Mando? You fell down a giant well of water. What? I thought your helmet could help you breathe. It can't. Oh, no, I've got to save you now.
So The Mandalorian has been doing well.
Yeah.
Star Wars hasn't been doing well. And things that I saw at Celebration made everything worse. I'm teetering on the point of being done with Star Wars.
Yeah.
Like Ahsoka, I'm gonna watch, but even then, looks like it's just Rebels.
It's just Rebels live action.
Which, hey, I know a lot of people like Rebels. That's fine. I actually don't have like the criticisms I have of Rebels aren't like Disney, like the usual criticisms we have. It's just like it's not really for me. Like I don't like it that much, especially compared to something like Clone Wars. Clone Wars is my bread and butter. Rebels, hey, great. If you love it, that's fine. But I don't really have any interest in watching an Ahsoka show if it's just Rebels.
My biggest gripe with Star Wars so far has been with Disney. No one's death has been meaningful and no one's dying.
Right.
Like the fact that we are in Rebel territory after the like original trilogy now, no one's died. Like I remember I was watching a thing the other day where George Lucas was like, I had in original scripts Kenobi like lived on through the movies.
Right.
But he realized once they left the Death Star, he was just standing there with Leia. He was useless.
Yeah.
So George killed him off to be a Force ghost, so he'd give Luke enough knowledge, and there was a drive for Luke to actually press on with the story, but there was a sacrifice given and something actually happened.
Yeah.
Like here, it'd be cool if like somebody died.
Well,
somebody became
that's
a
probably
Force
not going to
ghost.
happen.
Like, can Ahsoka just die?
No, Filoni. That's his everything.
Like the meme has been like, well, she's not in episode 3, so she's going to die, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. No. Oh, well, and, you know, she's not in the original trilogy, so she's going to die, right?
It's Star Wars, the Ahsoka story now. That's all Star Wars is. If Filoni
It
had
would
his
be
way.
cool to have some stakes, have some emotion, and for Disney to have some balls to actually make a decent story that, you know, was what originally Star Wars was like a killer sci-fi opera. Instead, we just get this corporate jargon.
I'm sad of talking about this, Nathan.
Yeah,
I don't want to talk
and
about
like
this anymore.
for me, the biggest nail in the coffin has been them making a Rey sequel.
Well, that's one thing, but let's be clear here. Mandalorian has been the big. It's what's saved Star Wars basically, and they have for this season. They've basically just gone, well, whatever.
Yeah,
and it's like whoa.
And it's like they suddenly stopped caring
because now all the people who like don't watch any other stuff don't care, and all they care about is Mandalorian because they like that.
Yeah.
Are now going, hold on a minute. Yeah. What's happening here? I don't like this. This is terrible. So I am waiting for my final judgment for after the next 2 episodes.
Yes.
However many episodes there are this season. So far, I can accept it depending how it ends. Because now Bo has the Darksaber. If she goes off and does her own thing and it's all this... and we just focus on Din for the next 2 episodes and... If
they are not,
then maybe I'll be like, hey, all right, maybe
maybe
we're not going to go the route that I think we are. But if it's just 100% Bo and Din is like side character for the rest of the season, I will be very unhappy.
I think everyone else will be as well.
Yeah.
Everyone's going to be very upset. And I don't know, just for me, you can tell. What is it?
Oh, it's crazy. I'm just thinking about like, because the boss who came out and said like, oh, the Mandalorian can be anyone now.
Yeah.
It doesn't. Just imagine coming out and be like, well, it's the Kenobi show. But I mean, we could just focus on everybody else. It doesn't really mean that Kenobi's the main character.
Yeah.
It's like, what are you talking about? No.
The Mandalorian was Din from the beginning because he...
The Mandalorian that we're focusing on the entire...
And you struck gold with that duo.
Yeah.
Like should just keep with that, make good stories with it and be fine. But for me, Disney is on a... Also, I think it's because Mando did well that they've now co-opted it to be something else. Like if Mando didn't, it's just, like... I feel like Mando was there. They're like, we'll just do a casual TV show to test the waters. It was really good.
I want to be clear here that I am putting the blame for this squarely on Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni. Like, I know everybody, like, we've even said that we want them to be in charge.
Yeah.
But if they can't even complete a good show without inserting, like, Ahsoka in it or doing some random thing, like, then you're not good either. I'm sorry.
No.
Like, just tell the story. It's not hard. Like... What they're like puppy dogs. They just get distracted by anything.
Yeah.
Like, oh, well, we've got this. We've got Bo now. Oh, well, let's just make the show about her. It's like no. Focus on the main story. It's not hard.
I do want George back. I know he's never coming back, but
man, he's old now. He's super old.
So
he wants to
old.
just chill.
I know he wants to have a normal life.
The sequels
now.
have already destroyed it. He's just like, okay, I've grieved.
But like,
I've moved on.
just remember watching behind the scenes where, I think it was season 2, and they were starring George. Like, look, the volume. We're doing the TV show. We're doing what you want. And he's like, oh, great. And then Favreau was like, you see that gun there? That's from the holiday special cartoon with Boba Fett. Yeah. And George was like, I had nothing to do with that. That's bull crap. I don't know. Like, you can tell George is like, I don't care. Is it a good story? Like, I feel like George, at least, although he made some interesting decisions, he at least like could do story. He at least had cool motives, cool ideas. He was like, I'm going to make the bad guy the guy's father. That's a cool idea. Like, that's awesome. We're here now. We don't have anything original.
But I think that's all for today's video. I don't know what this... I think we were originally supposed to talk about, but it came out like a review more than anything else.
We'll do a full recap when the season's finished.
Yeah.
I'm sure we're going to have many more thoughts about it.
Yeah.
I'm going to play Jedi Survivor. It's coming out later this month, and that'll be it for me with Star Wars. Once that game's done, I am done with Star Wars.
I'm still tossing up whether I even want to play it. Like, I want to play it, but at the same time, I'm sick of EA and how they do Star Wars games. I'm like, well, there's going to be microtransactions if I have to use their, their launcher, all these sorts of things. Like,
their launcher, man, so bad.
Exactly.
It's so bad.
Then I'm not even sold on the story yet. Like, the original story was good because it was a story that had been told, like Jedi Survivor, no, Jedi Fallen Order. The story had been told a lot of different ways.
Yeah.
We'd never had it in like a game, and it was really good in a game. Worked well. We'll see how this next game goes. Let's see if they can remain focused, right? Yeah, let's see if they remain focused. But I think that's everything for today's video. Was there anything else you want to finish out?
No, just that why would you make a Rey Skywalker movie? Have they not seen the videos online where Rey's like, I'm Rey Skywalker, and the whole audience is like, no! Like, clearly Disney is not staying on watch.
But you should.